Welcome to Studio Production Models, where we bring them to life. My name is Vic, and in today's video, I have a tip that can help a lot of model builders. Let me show you what that is. So this product here, it's called bulb grease, and you can find this at O'Reilly's, Advanced Auto Parts, or AutoZone. It's about an 89-cent to $1, maybe $1.20 package of grease. And what I like to use this on is my X-Acto knife blades and my paint tops. But let me show you here. So a lot of you model builders out there have ever had problems with your blades, your X-Acto blades getting stuck here inside the knife. What you want to do is, when you go to change or try to change these, if they get stuck, let's pull it out like that. When they get stuck, you kind of have to put this knife like in a vise or something like that, and then take some pliers and try to pull the blade out. So when that happens over time, because I know a lot of people like to reuse their blades because they sharpen these a lot, so that'll save you money on having to keep buying packages of blades. You can just keep using the same one for a long time until it's to the point the tip is no longer like this where it's sharp, or you can continue to use it. So what I like to do is take some of this grease, squeeze it out here, and put some on my fingertip, and I apply it here on both sides of the blade. So that way when you slide the blade inside the knife, it doesn't get stuck when you get ready to go pull it out. It keeps it from rusting and things like that, and moisture getting into it where it kind of welds itself on. So this grease works good for your blades, and I recommend putting some on both sides of that every time you get ready to change your blades. As far as the paint goes, so these tester bottles are known for these tops welding themselves onto the bottle over time, just like the Model Master paints. So what I do on the testers and the Model Master, I take some of this grease and I put a good amount on my fingertip, and I go all the way around this area right here, all the way around. Same way with the Model Master paint. I go all the way around with the grease. And if you can put some grease inside of your tops. Especially these testers bottles, when they sit for a long time, they tend to get old. Normally there's like a small circular cardboard piece that's inside these, and that's what keeps the moisture out of the paint. But I would recommend putting the grease around the insides of these bottles, and especially on the outsides here where the tops connect to the bottle, because over time these tops, they like to weld themselves on to the bottle, and then it's a pain trying to get these loose. But once you get them loose, that's what I highly recommend, using some of this grease to put around the tops of these, where the tops fit on, so these tops don't weld themselves on. But yeah, and another tip I wanted to show everybody. So I have cases like this that I keep my bottles of paint in, and what I like to do occasionally to keep the paint intact and keep it loosened up, I turn the bottles upside down. Now what you want to do when you put the grease on, when you get your grease on here, when you put your tops on, you just want to screw them on until it just stops. You don't want to tighten them on. Just screw it on until where it stops, because the little cardboard piece that goes inside there keeps the paint from running out. So I would recommend just screwing the tops on just till it barely stops. That way when you go to reuse these bottles in a year or so, or however long they've been sitting, They unscrew real easy after you've applied this bulb grease. Turn that around. After you've applied this bulb grease, it tends to stay in these areas. So when you turn your paint upside down, it helps the paint. And then if you leave it, your paint sitting up like this for a long time, right side up, occasionally, if you haven't used it for a long time, the paint tends to get milky and thick. What I recommend doing is either putting a small amount of paint thinner. You can use this or any of the O'Reilly's brand paint thinners as the testers. I add a small amount of that inside the bottle of paint, or you can get the 70% alcohol or the 91%. And you add that inside your paint, and that helps to keep it moist and like new. So I just wanted to come on and let everybody see the tip that I had to offer, and I'm hoping that it will help someone out. But yeah, this is the product you want to buy. Been using it for a long time. I highly recommend it. You can't go wrong with it. It's called bulb grease, and it's good for greasing these bottle tops. So that way your tops don't weld themselves on to the bottle, or your X-Acto knives, the knife or the blade welding itself onto the knife. So yeah, when you put the grease right in there, it helps lubricate the knife. So that way when you go to remove the blade, it's not stuck inside the knife. It hasn't welded itself on from being in there for a long time. So yeah, you can go pick some of this up at O'Reilly's, AutoZone, or Advance Auto Parts. It's about 89 cents to $1.20, depending where you buy it. And it's highly recommended. It's a very good product, and it works. It works for a long time. So I hope this helped some of you model builders out there in the model building community. And until next time, my name is Vic, and this is Studio Production Models. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.